Hello Pisces, how are you? Welcome to your December 2017 reading. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Jane. I'm coming to you from my grandfather's hobby shop, which is why I have all of these planes and everything in my background and the wood paneling and all that. Happy to be back in the States for the holidays. Let's begin with your astrology highlight. Okay, so we have some interesting things going on in the sky. The biggest one, the one we've been talking about all year, is as per Western astrology, Saturn is transitioning from Sagittarius and moving into Capricorn. All right, now this is happening in your 11th house, which has a lot to do with your relationship with many, okay, you and your groups, you and your networks, things like that. Now Saturn in this position can be a little bit tricky. It can lend itself to maybe wanting to retract or to be alone, or there can be some fear in terms of how you are being represented to these groups of many. Now be careful of this trap, because staying alone can prevent you or hinder you from actually developing really solid networks, okay? Saturn is a planet of opportunity. It doesn't like pessimism and it doesn't like to be ignored. So be sure that you get yourself out there. Be sure that you continue to work on your relationships, okay? It's not intimate relationships, but in all other realms. And it will help you and it will propel you in the upcoming years, okay? We have two major events going on in Sagittarius. The first being we have Venus moving into Sagittarius at the beginning of the month, I believe, beginning of the month. And that's an exciting transit, just because I think there will be, especially for you, there is a lot of focus on your career and you in the workplace. Venus here is a lot more light. It's a lot more bubbly. It enjoys the essence of Sagittarius. There's a more broad scale, broad-mindedness coming along with this. But be careful with the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius as well, because this can lend itself to breakdowns in communication, and especially in the workplace setting, repercussions of breakdown of communications can be a little bit harsher than, say, in other areas of your life. So if you are having any experiences with issues with a boss or an authority figure of some kind, or maybe even getting a little bit too involved in office politics, it might be a good time to retreat and retract from the messiness or the superficiality of that stuff, and ensuring that your communications are clear and precise so that there's no room for error, okay? So let's go ahead and begin with the reading. Quick note, I am going to be introducing a new deck that I designed from my trip to Bali, so you'll be seeing those, and super excited about it. All right, so take care, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye. Hello Pisces, how are you? Welcome to your December 2017 reading. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and begin. I wanted to introduce my new deck to you. This deck is I personally designed using images from my time that I spent over in Bali this year. It's not available for sale right now, so it is just kind of a one-of-a-kind kind of thing. Hopefully you like it. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead and begin. Okay. King of Wands. Well, that's you. Interesting that you're coming out as a King of Wands, which is a fire quality. Not to say that that's, excuse me, good or bad. It just, it tells me that you have a lot of drive. There's something you would like to accomplish. There's something you would like to do. You have your mind set on greater horizons. You know, this is a card of progressiveness. It's a card of self-expression. It's a card of bringing your ideas to life and a great deal of creativity here. A King of Wands is highly powerful, and you having a rough year emotionally, like all of us, you know, this is a great place for you to be. With the Saturn transit, I do feel that you will feel this sense of encouragement, you know, where the difficult times are somewhat left behind. Not to say you're not still dealing with things, but they are left behind, and you are a soldier or a warrior in your own destiny, okay? Coming out here is the King of Swords. King of Swords, King of Wands. Look, this is obviously someone, look, I have two people and they're kind of moving away from each other, right? So whether it is a romantic partnership or not is irrelevant. I feel that there is a parting of ways, a separation of sorts, and maybe in some regards, a level of indifference toward one another. Now, this could be a little bit hard for some of you to swallow depending on who this King of Swords is, right? But look, both coming out as kings. When I have a king-king match, right, the masculine and the masculine, it tells me that you're not bringing out the best in one another. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to always be the case, right? You know, all relationships go through ebbs and flows, so it's not permanent unless you decide that you want it to be. But this person is very aloof, very much in their own world. I have like a picture of a man reading a newspaper, right? Just because they are very engrossed and very involved in their own adventure of life, all right? And so I do think that there's some separation happening. Hold on, sorry. Whoa, okay, you guys have so many coming out. And I think that that's enough, actually. So I'm going to pull them out bottom down. So 7 of Swords. Picture of a scarecrow in a rice paddy. Scarecrow, 7 of Swords is about self-deception. Okay, letting our fears and our doubts get the best of you. Look, you're on a mission. And this person may have been a little bit shady. Or maybe really shady. You know, or maybe there was just a shady circumstance that you guys had to deal with. 7 of Swords is a mental state of mind. Okay, it's very much what you think. And not necessarily what you intuit, not necessarily what you feel, but rather what you've collected in terms of evidence and being like, okay, look, this is not working for me. But sometimes we do let our fears and our doubts get the best of you. Some of you may have a tendency to, I don't know, give someone a second chance, to try to work things out. Look, you guys are on different pages, different directions, moving in different ways. And in spite of how hard that might be, it's best to accept that, because 7 of Swords is like kind of this battle that can be difficult to win, right? It's kind of this looming thing. It's kind of like what you do to yourself, the mental bullying that you put yourself through. Okay, so be careful with your relationships here. And the King of Pentacles. So, I'm seeing 3 people, but it doesn't have to represent 3 distinct people, but we're getting 3 kings. Now, the 2 of you are moving in one direction. This person is obviously in the past. This could also be you, okay? You, and look, I chose this guy. I put the King and Queen of Pentacles on scooters, okay? Because even though they're earth signs, right, they represent the earth qualities within us. Earth is about growth. Earth is about making things better. It's about nurturing things, okay? So you are in essence nurturing your own life. You are nurturing your own path with or without this person. And somehow, even though the earth signs can be, you know, quote unquote slower, it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise always wins the race. And it's about stick-to-itiveness. It's about every day doing something that moves you away from this 7 of Swords situation, this mental bullying that you put yourself through. It's about ensuring that transition is always occurring, right? Constant change, if we can throw in that oxymoron, if I may. Constant change. And look, you're on a mission, obviously. This person is sitting down. This person is stagnant. They're not really about to change. You are changing. So don't let someone else hold you back. All right? And we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about your own ability to be happy. I see the Nine of Cups often as being like a showcase, right? Or a trophy case of your emotional experiences. Now, sorry, let me grab some coffee. I'm probably going to be taking breaks, guys. I hope you don't mind. My throat's been a little bit scratchy the past month. I can't get this cough to go away. The emotional trophy case. And I believe that whatever experience this was or is substantial enough for you to feel proud of what you went through. I believe that in some way you are a warrior, like I said in the beginning, King of Wands, a warrior of your own path. And your experience is meant to be celebrated. It is meant, you know, for gratitude, because it is because of this experience that you are propelling yourself into the new part of your life. Now, I feel like this is a very similar reading to what we had last month, if I remember correctly. And also let me check to make sure the cards are all in the frame. I probably should have done that before. Okay. So it just tells me that it's a carryover, and that even though there might not be huge, substantial, like right before your eyes types of changes, remember the King of Pentacles, day by day, one thing at a time, one foot in front of the other. Those changes are occurring. Your emotional state is moving. Even some of your physical states are moving as well. Okay? Okay. Let's see what else fell out here. And the Nine of Wands. There's guardedness with a Nine of Wands. The reason why I paused for a moment was just because the nines. Nine of Wands is protecting oneself. It is courage. It is, what's the word? Valor. Valor, I believe. And these are your own gates. This is your own doorstep. The doorstep of your heart, the doorstep of your realm. And because Pisces, you're ruled by Jupiter and you're ruled by Neptune, you have this just openness about you. You know, you're just born that way. You're very in tune with the world. You're very in tune with other people's thoughts and emotions. You're highly empathic. Whether you utilize that talent or not, it's built in. And sometimes you do need to block yourself from people that try to get in and take advantage. It can be very, very difficult for a Pisces, you know, because it's all about the disillusion of boundaries. But here we have a very clear and very distinct boundary. Maybe that's what this was a learning experience about, you know, or was about, right? Was learning how to do that, learning how to implement that, learning how to protect yourself. You're going to need this if you want a quality love, you know, because a quality love doesn't require giving all of yourself, and your partner wouldn't want you to do that anyway. Nine of Wands is powerful. Even though it's not a major arcana, for some reason I'm feeling like that's kind of the card of these six that's really standing out to me as kind of like the one thing you need to take away from this lesson. Or sorry, from this reading, not lesson. I'm not your teacher. I'm all paranoid about my camera for some reason. I had it stop a couple times, so I'll probably keep checking it. But you know, that's the thing here with this reading, I believe. And then we have the Star. And I chose, because the Star is the card of Aquarius, right? And Aquarius, the symbol is the water bearer. I chose a fountain that is a water bearer. Okay? water representing knowledge and the ether and spirituality. Being connected with, because I'm sensing that there was something got lost in this experience, whether it was with this person, right? Something got lost. And now with this newfound level of protection, this newfound guardedness, but healthy guardedness, not an unhealthy level. Now it's time for you to feel I guess I would use the word blessings, for you to feel the blessings from the universe. You know, the star also represents our hopes and our wishes, our dreams, things coming true. I feel that this was an experience that you had to have in order to have the things you will have. And your knowledge of what happened or of what is happening is sinking in. You are becoming wiser. You are becoming more well-versed in who you are, okay? This also, so we're getting 2 cards of Aquarius here. So I don't know if you are dealing with an Aquarian or someone that is very Aquarian-like. Someone who's a little aloof and elusive, unattainable, confusing a lot of times. Someone that is, of course, intelligent and, of course, let's say, like, Aquarians are notorious for the disappearing act, right? I'm totally stereotyping here, guys. And I'm not saying you're dealing with an Aquarius, but someone with that vibe. And that disappearing act can be a very unhealthy thing for, like, say, a Pisces who really truly needs and desires and craves that emotional security, right? Because that push-pull, on and off, hot, cold, is kind of can be a form of abuse if taken to extremes, right? And that can be a very confusing thing. And so I feel like with this star, something has been illuminated, something has been recognized within your spiritual makeup and what you really require from other people in this life. And I mean, there's just certainly such a clear, like, I'm moving on. I'm moving, like, you can come along if you want, but I'm going to do what's best for me. And if you don't change, then you can just stay where you are. That's fine. You know, it's almost like like I said, there's a level of indifference. You're getting to that point of stopping caring. And the Emperor. I don't know. I feel like this is you guys. You're getting such, like, harsh, masculine people. All men. Now, I know I am reading for some men, of course, but the Piscean quality is just so highly feminine, right? Because of the ethereal nature, the connection with spiritual realms, all that kind of stuff. And so you're a little bit, I think, out of your element, but this is a side of you that has gone unnoticed for so long that it's coming out in full force. And we have the Emperor, excuse me, who is doing his thing. Hopefully I'm doing this right. If this card is upside down, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to show these cards upright, but I have my camera turned around, so I'm gonna have to flip the footage in editing and post, so if it shows up upside down, sorry. But the Emperor is so engrossed in what he's doing, so focused on his own, like his phone, right? And he's got this whole, like, business and everything around him going on. He's, like, in the middle of a marketplace, and yet he's just like, I know what I'm doing and nothing's going to sway my focus. I just got to do me. That's it. I don't have the capacity to worry about you. it's very, I don't know, it's very much me versus you, but I don't think that that was the precedent that you set. I think that's what this Seven of Swords was about, a me versus you. Instead of like, let's do something together, let's get moving together. It's like, it was such a separate togetherness, right? Such a separate togetherness that you were forced to be, you were forced out kind of thing. Forced, but also a choice as well. Okay, let's grab some more. Okay. And the Page of Cups. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this girl. She was so sweet. Like for real, she was so like adorable. And when I asked to take her picture, she was so shy and so cute, but she stood there and just let me. But then I was like, she's my Page of Cups. She's holding a little cup and everything. But you know, she's a representative of something coming to you. She's a messenger. Right? She brings messages of love. She brings connections. She brings the power of creation. You know, she's the ugly duckling. I feel like many of my Piscean friends saw the ugly side of themselves this year. Okay? And that might be a little bit of an overgeneralization. Maybe not all of you really got there, but those qualities came out. And I feel like some of you had to come in close contact with your shadow. And she represents the ugliness morphing into this beautiful swan. Okay, but you had to be the ugly duckling before you could be the swan. And I feel that whether this is a new relationship coming in, because for some of you it absolutely could be, but for others of you, it's just something small. It's just something that comes into your life and says, here's an opportunity for you to begin this metamorphosis from the ugly duckling into the swan. Okay? What a beautiful way, a beautiful card to finish off my square. Now I'm going to go ahead and do 3 more cards for you, just to kind of cap off the reading like I've been doing the past, I think I did it last month, and just to kind of see where it takes us, or whatever additional information we could give. But be very hopeful for this. I'm sorry, this didn't fall out, but I saw it, and I just can't not bring it out. It's, sorry, let me do it upside down. The Lovers. Okay, the Lovers. Lovers is potent. It's a major arcana. It's powerful. It is the masculine and feminine. Remember how in the beginning I was saying that there were 2 masculine sides coming out, that with the kings and even with the emperor, like you really got in touch with that masculine side, the masculinity. And that's not where a Piscean wants to be. No water signs, no earth signs want to be there. It's a natural feeling. This is telling me that there's a possibility of, like I said, that whether it's the coming in contact of your masculine, thereby highlighting the qualities of your feminine, and you coming together as a whole person and understanding both sides of yourself, right? Or someone new coming in, and there's that, you know, twin flame or soulmate type of connection. It can be both internal and external. It does not have to be one or the other. They're not even mutually exclusive. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini, okay? Or a Gemini may come into your presence. So, I didn't fall out, but because I saw it, it kind of like flipped. I had to pull it. And the Queen of Cups. And there you are, the feminine. And we have every suit being represented here. Swords, Pentacles, Cups, and Wands. So, you know, this is the card of Cancer, and I know you're a Pisces, but the Cancerian quality, that deep femininity, all of that coming out. Do I think this is you? Yes, I do. It's almost as though you, fire and water, wands and cups, masculine and feminine, things coming together. It couldn't be more perfectly in line with everything I just said with the Lover's card. You coming in contact with the whole self and rectifying discretions or things that you felt you did wrong in the past now is going to have an opportunity for you to be better, to be more of this whole person. Please do not forget, though, you guys, that you do need to protect yourself. You know, what's that saying? I don't know what the exact saying is, but in the Chariot. I don't know what the saying is, but it's like a fence makes good neighbors kind of thing. That's kind of the essence of what's happening here. To put up your fences to create stronger relationships. And the Chariot coming out. The Chariot representing, in this case, and I always read the Chariot differently depending on which deck I'm using, because it can be visually different and all this, irregardless. I feel the Chariot is celebratory. Here we have a group of men moving forward in their quote-unquote chariot towards some cause, right? I think this was like a cleanup crew of some kind. Now, it's with purpose, you know, and there's no doubt about it. King of Wands, King of Pentacles, moving forward with purpose, with their eyes set on a destination. And the Chariot is triumphant. It is victorious. It is that balance between love and power, not only within yourself, but within your closest intimate relationships. And finding a quality state of equilibrium between the two. Autonomy and independence, and interconnectedness with another soul. And I think that's where you're headed. I think you had to get pushed to an extreme before you understood where that equilibrium even was, right? So, like I said, your emotional trophy case, the Nine of Cups, your showcase of your emotional experiences, is having the opportunity to be put to good use. You coming together as a whole person within yourself, thereby attracting other whole people into your life, people that don't need you or require you in any kind of way, so that you can just be together and just be together and not have the relationship or the connection be about the relationship, but about other goals that you're working towards alongside of one another. Okay, so a beautiful, beautiful reading for you, Pisces. I truly wish you nothing but the best. All right, thank you so much. Have a good month. Bye.